What's up, rats? A Crazy Rat here, and today we're going to do our first Marvel Rivals beta tier list, or probably our only Marvel Rivals beta tier list, but we're still in the beta phase of the game. We're currently not even a week in, and I have 52 hours in the game, and I've really been enjoying this game a lot. I have played each character at least 2 times, and I've been enjoying this game so much. This is probably the game I'll be switching to from Overwatch because this game is so great. But enough of that. The tier list. Um, gonna so B tier will be your average, A tier will be a little bit strong, and S tier will be very strong. Definitely would like to maybe see a nerf. C tier is a little bit weak, and D tier is definitely on the weak side. And I will, as we do the tier list, based on the power levels, I'd be like, oh, maybe Black Panther's like the weakest of the B tier, maybe Hulk's the strongest of the B tier. So that's how we're gonna do the tier list, and let's get into it with Adam. So Adam, I think he is A tier. What part of A tier? Well, it depends when I give everyone else our ranking. But I think Adam, he has solid enough heals. He is a kind of off healer. He does a good damage. You have the revive, which a lot of people misuse. You revive with 0 healing cooldowns. You definitely want to have like a healing cooldown when you revive. Adam, damage. Yes, he can self heal. I think he is solid. He's above average. Black Panther. Don't want to put him in B or A. I think I'm gonna put him at the lower A. He's definitely above average. Definitely not broken. You can you can see him. He's not gonna melt your team that quickly. I mean, you could make the argument, but I really I really think if you are a good enough player, you will have an okay time dealing with the Black Panther. Like I haven't had too much issues dealing with the Black Panther yet. Groot. I think Groot is a little bit of like a tougher character for me because I feel like I really need to get better with his walls. But I think Groot would. The thing is with his team up, I also gonna need to consider team ups. I think Groot would be on the top of B tier for me as we go through this list. He doesn't have the range. He can absorb a little bit of damage, but I think there's just better tank options than Groot. Like the team up doesn't really help him that much. And that's all I gotta say about Groot. He does have a solid ult, but there is like a better variation of his ult. We have Hulk. I think out of all the characters on this list, I think Hulk is gonna be the one that's the only person that's gonna be in D tier. You can run him with Venom, and you can go down the supports, but I feel like supports can play in a way that mitigates that play style, and people will just have to get used to it. You can even run triple support to, I think, counter this. Because if Hulk freezes one support, you can have 2 supports still trying to heal each other, getting through the Venom Hulk combo, and a Hulk is just he's kind of like an extra. I feel like Venom is the real star of the show. We'll get into that later. I just feel like Hulk is missing a little something. I feel like he needs like a Winston leap. If you played Overwatch, you hit a button, you have a big leap, but in this game mode or game, you just kind of have to charge up, and it feels a little bit awkward. Hela, I think, will be our first S tier character. She just does a lot of crit damage. She has a lot of range. I think her abilities are not that great, but it's just her very consistent damage. Very like the best way you can do it is compare it to Ashe in Overwatch, but you don't need to scope in. Um, and you have that pretty okay mobility in her left shift. You have that E that can kind of put them in a place where you can use her right click. Her ult's pretty solid. You get like a second life out of it. I feel like she would be at the towards the bottom of S tier, but I feel like she's definitely still deserves the role of S tier. Iron Man, it's kind of unfortunate that Hulk's in D tier because there's a team up that benefits Iron Man a bit. I feel like Iron Man is better than Black Panther, but is he better than Adam? I'm gonna say no. I think Iron Man is a pretty solid character right now. I don't think he's too broken. All you needed to do is use a Hela to keep him in check, or you can use. I've seen some crazy Spider-Mans go after Iron Man, or a Punisher, which we'll get into later, or even a Namor. Yeah, you have answers to Iron Man. Iron Man's not doing anything too crazy right now. You can block his ult with a shield, which I see so many people blunder. Loki. Okay, Loki. I think Loki is just in the middle of B tier. Like, he is not overpowered, he is not underpowered. I think he's pretty nice where he's at. You get to his ult, you get to pick a character and you get their ult instantly, so it can be a very big fight changer because there's some very good ults in the game. But your team will lose out on the heals while you are ulting unless you ult another support. I feel like he's a really skillful character, but I feel like he doesn't reward too much and he doesn't reward too little. I feel like he's just in the smack middle of B tier. Rocket Raccoon. Okay. I feel like, is he better than Loki is my question. Both of these team ups aren't that great. I mean, Hela can revive Loki. It's probably better than teaming up on sitting on Groot. I think for that reason, because I think the Hela Loki team up is better than the Groot Rocket Raccoon team up, and that's why I'll put Rocket Raccoon a little bit lower than Loki. We have Luna Snow, who I think is probably going to be an S tier support for me. She has that solid healing. She's a main support. She has maybe her survivability can definitely be questionable at times because if you miss your ice, you're kind of screwed. You don't have a lot of self healing, so maybe I'll put her at the bottom of S tier. I don't think she is insanely broken. I have a lot of high healing games on her, so that's why I'm factoring her so high in S tier because I think she is kind of crazy what she can do in healing output, and she can survive dives decently. Yeah, I think the bottom of S tier for Luna is pretty good. Her ult is really amazing. It takes a lot for you to kill her in her ult, and her ult does get a lot of value. Magik. She has that team up with Black Panther. I feel like, I find Magik to be more annoying than Black Panther. Magik just has that self heal. If I'm trying to fight her and I'm a tank, I'm usually having a nightmarish time. Even though you're not supposed to really go for tanks, but if it does come to that, like you kill all the supports and then you try to 1v1 a tank, unless the tank hits all their shots, the Magik's gonna win because of that passive. I feel like Magik is just a little bit better than Black Panther, but they do have two different unique playstyles, and I'm just gonna give Magik the edge on this one because the ability to fight tanks is definitely there. Then we have Magneto. I feel like he is the best tank in the game right now. See, I'm trying to think of him in Venom. And I have played a lot of Magneto. I think Magneto, with his team up, is absolutely crazy. But that is him with his team up. If he is not with his team up, then you could maybe say the top of A tier because he has a lot of survivability. But if you want to say he has his team up going, I think you put him in the top of S tier. His team up is slices through the enemy team. You can bubble yourself. You have a combo that can 3-shot a squishy. You have that shield that can block many ults, especially a Punisher ult. like if you're playing Doctor Strange, your shield gets melted, but as Magneto, you have 3 seconds of a shield, and then um you have your self bubble, and then you have that team up that does so much damage. I feel like Magneto is just the best tank in the game right now. I have a lot of crazy games. I have a lot of footage that you'll be seeing of me playing Magneto. You're gonna see why I put him on S tier, especially when he has his team up. Even when he doesn't have his team up, I still think he's a good tank. I kind of moved Venom up the list here, but I also think Venom is a really strong character right now. Very hard to kill, very annoying for supports to deal with. I think he is, because he doesn't really have a team up, I think he has to go lower than Magneto because he doesn't have a team up. Hmm. Do I want to put him above Hela or below Hela? Just because he's such a nuisance right now. I think I'm just going to put him above Hela and below Magneto. He is very strong. Very hard to kill. Very survivable. Really annoys the backline. I think he's a really solid tank to pick right now. Mantis. Do I think she is better than Adam? I'm going to say yeah. Do I think she's better than Luna Snow? Not really. But it's not like a big gap. Like Mantis is the top of A tier, Luna's at the bottom of S tier. I think Mantis, the reason why I'm not going to give Mantis the edge over Luna is just because I really think Luna ult is a little bit better than Mantis ult. It just lasts longer, does a bit more healing. You do get the overhealth with Mantis, but Luna being a main healer, just having just a lot of heals on Luna compared to Mantis is going to be the difference maker for me. And Mantis doesn't have a lot of survivability when Venom is pretty good right now. You do have your sleep, but once you're out of your sleep, you have nothing, unlike Luna that has her freeze, and then you have your self regen on your left shift. I think that's it. It's very close. That's all I'm going to say. Namor, I feel like Namor is very underrated. He has self-survivability. He has turrets that can do a little bit of damage, and then you combo team up, not team up. You use your right click to get more out of your turrets. His ult, if you hit people in it, you can usually result in kills. It does 200 damage, which is not bad, and then you have the knockdown. Don't think he's broken. I think he's an A tier. Do I want to put him over Iron Man? I think I'll put him over Iron Man and over Adam, but not above Mantis. Just a really solid character. I feel like he is very slept on right now. Penny. I do enjoy me some Penny, but the issue I have with Penny is her ult is absolute a nothing burger. It is, you just run and do something. It's not much. But other than that, she does okay damage. She has a lot of aerodynamic. I would not play her as a solo tank. Shoot. I think we put Penny at the bottom of B tier. I don't think she is bad. I just think her ult really limits her into just this B tier category. Punisher. Oh boy. What I like to call Punisher, Shotgun Shelly, Amalga 3.0 with that ult. I think Punisher is kind of cracked right now. I might even say Punisher is the best character in the game. Gets a lot of damage consistently. You have that ult that you cannot be CC out of. If your teammates put resources into you, you're gonna do a lot of damage. The only characters that can really survive against you is Magneto, because He has that shield that you cannot break for 3 seconds, and then he can still kite you with his bubble or giving his teammate a bubble. 300 health too on Punisher. That's a big difference maker right there. I feel like if you want to put Punisher in line, you're going to have to do something to that ult or even nerf the shotgun a bit. I feel like he's not too far off from being balanced, but that shotgun and ult definitely goes a bit crazy. Scarlet Witch. For me, Scarlet, I'm gonna her team up. She enables Magneto so well. I think she will get the B tier. Because if you go with a Magneto, Scarlet Witch just gets so much value because Magneto gets a sword, and that sword is absolutely cracked. Other than that, yeah, I think B tier is fine. The bottom of B tier. She has that consistent damage with her left click. You can do that right click, but I feel like there's just better damage in the game other than Scarlet Witch. But she is easy to play. If you're playing for Marvel Rivals for the first time, you can pick up Scarlet Witch, and I wouldn't blame you. On the other hand, we have Spider-Man. I think we push you above Penny. Do I want to put you above Loki and Rocket Raccoon? I think I'll move you up a few spots. But better than Groot is the question now. No, I think I like this spot for Spidey. Spidey, probably the hardest character to play and master in the game right now. But I feel like he rewards an okay amount. Most of the time, I feel like I just need that little extra damage to kill off a support. Sometimes I feel unstoppable. Sometimes I feel stoppable. I feel like B tier is the perfect place for Spidey. More on the top of B tier. I feel like Black Panther is just a better option than Spidey because 300 HP. You got your dash resets. You got your damage boosted at low health. Spider-Man ult is better than Black Panther ult. I will give you that. Another thing with Spidey is his team up with Venom. I just feel like it's a little underwhelming, in my opinion. Star-Lord. I feel like Star-Lord belongs in A tier. I think I'll give it above Magic and Black Panther. Do I want to give Star-Lord above... I think right here is a good spot for Star-Lord. More of the upper parts of A tier. Star-Lord, he has that invincibility frames on his dash. He reloads. He does that really good damage. His ult is an absolute laser beam. He has a great mobility. His E is a great finisher slash AoE thing that you can do to multiple targets. I feel like you just can't go wrong with Star-Lord. Doctor Strange. I think he's going to be the only character I put on C tier because 3 minutes on your portal is absolutely brutal. Your left clicks just doesn't do too much. Your E can give you literally anti-heal on yourself, which is kind of weird. I think the best thing going for Doctor Strange is his ult being a very good ult. But other than that, there's not too much. Like, his left shift just feels a little bit weird on him. You can get away with him. Shield at 800 HP is kind of underwhelming. Gets absolutely melted, especially by a Punisher ult. He is a main tank. You can definitely play him. I just don't think he's going to be the guy to take over games unless you are getting ults very constantly and you're hitting all your shots, which isn't really going to happen. I feel like C tier is really good for him. Now that I'm realizing it, we are missing 2 characters, so I'll have to give you my assessment of those. Thor and Jeff, don't you worry. Storm, she recently got a team up with Thor, who is not on the list, but like I said, I'll talk about him. With that team up is actually pretty good for Storm. definitely noticeable thing with Storm. Oh, I can add additional things. I have to get a Thor image and thing. We'll do that in a second. I'll have to make a cut in the video. Um, she's not D tier. I'm just thinking where I want to place her. I think for Storm, I want to put her above Star Lord. No, I think this is an okay place for a middle of A tier. She definitely benefits a lot from that team up. She she does a lot of damage. She has a very solid ult, which really squishies are gonna suffer unless they have an ult to counter it. Uh, she does a lot of damage and she gives off that damage boost. So I'm kind of thinking maybe she belongs above Star Lord because that damage boost. You don't really get to see the impact of it a lot, but your teammates are really benefiting from that damage or speed boost. So I feel like right there, do I want to put her above Namor? Yeah, probably I do. I think that's where I'm gonna put her more of the top of A tier. The damage boost that she gives to her teammates and herself, as well as that team up, really just makes her generate that ult quicker. Which, if you generate the ult quicker, you can get before the support ult come online, and you just absolutely go ham. To end this video, I got a nice picture of Thor and Jeff. I feel like Jeff belongs in A tier. He has that consistent healing. Damage isn't really there. He does have a team up that makes his damage better. He can survive pretty good. I feel like the bottom of A tier is good enough for him. His ult is kind of memeish. It can help in situations, but it's not that impactful. I think I'd rather have him at the bottom of A tier than anything. And Thor, to end out the video, I feel like he belongs in B tier. But where do I want him in B tier is the question. I think probably above the supports. The only time where Thor does feel underwhelming is if you're the only tank. I feel like you need a main tank to help you. Just take some of the aggro, take some of the damage. Thor is pretty solid once you learn him. I don't think he's too overpowered. I don't think he's underpowered. I feel like he's in a pretty good state where he is. And that is the end of the tier list. How did I do? Let me know in the comments. I'm sure this tier list will be changing a little bit as the beta is coming to a close in a few days, but this will be the only one that I do. Just so you guys have like a tier list to look at if you want to play and pick up a character right now. Marvel Rivals is really fun. If you like Marvel Rivals content, in my content in particular, please subscribe, leave a like, comment down below, especially how I did on this tier list, and peace out.